And welcome back to the NFL Quick Talk podcast. First, if you're new, please like and subscribe. Let's get right into it. The Buffalo Bills have re-signed defensive tackle Ed Oliver to a 4-year, $68 million extension. 45 of that will be guaranteed, and the deal will run through 2027. Over his 4-year NFL career, he has totaled 14.5 sacks and 30 TFLs from his defensive tackle position. He was drafted in the first round, 9th overall, out of the University of Houston, in the 2019 NFL Draft. This is a great re-sign because he is a leader in the clubhouse, and this will shore up the defensive tackle position for the foreseeable future for the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills also signed linebacker Leonard Floyd to a 1-year, $2.25 million deal. 1.5 of that will be guaranteed. He was a first-round pick by the Chicago Bears in 2016. He was then traded to the Rams, where he spent the last 3 seasons. In those last 3 seasons with Los Angeles, where he won a Super Bowl, he totaled 29 sacks and 1 interception. This is a really great signing because it adds depth to the linebacker position and chemistry with former Rams teammate Von Miller, again, in Los Angeles, where they won a Super Bowl. The Minnesota Vikings tell star running back Dalvin Cook that he will be released on Friday. Now, this does leave a possibility that he can be traded today, Thursday, June 8th, but as of Friday, June 9th, he will be released if he's not traded. In 2022, he ran for 1,173 yards, 8 touchdowns, and fumbled the ball 4 times. He was a second-round pick in 2017, and the teams that have a realistic shot at picking him up that he would want to go to, in my opinion, would be the Bills, Dolphins, Bears, and Panthers. The Bills, because running back is not their strong suit. They are not very deep at that position, and that would reunite him with his brother, James Cook, and then we would have 2 brothers cooking in the running back room for the Bills. That would be awesome to see. The Dolphins, because he was born and raised and lived in Miami for a bunch of his life, that signing would drive the Dolphins up to being national contenders, in my opinion. The Bears, because they have the most cap space out of all the teams, this adds depth to the position, and him and Khalil Herbert, they're number 1 right now, would be a really good duo for years to come for the Bears to build back up with Justin Fields. The Panthers, because they also have a ton of cap space, I think around $21 million, and the Panthers have no depth at that position. They have Miles Sanders, who is an okay back sometimes, he's off and on. And then after that, it's just practice squad players. Chuba Hubbard, Raheem Blackshear, I think is his name. So those really aren't NFL running backs. They are just practice squad players. So the Panthers need someone to bring up with Stroud, and I think getting Dalvin Cook here would definitely help them out there. Star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins is taking an official visit to the Tennessee Titans on Sunday, June the 11th, although it is likely that he will not sign with them. It shows that Tennessee has still convinced themselves that they are not rebuilding by any means, like some people have said that they are, although he probably will not sign there. Teams that I think have a definite shot at signing him, one would be the Detroit Lions. They're a dark horse. No one's really talking about them, but they have a little bit of a need there, and their offense would be so much better if they got him, DeAndre Hopkins, They have plenty of cap space, so money's not going to be an issue, so they can offer more money for him than other teams can, which will be enticing to him. This will cement them as national contenders in the NFC. People will have them going deep in the playoffs. I might have them going deep in the playoffs. We'll see. So the Lions definitely won. The Chiefs, probably the odds-on favorite right now. They don't have a lot of cap space, but they can probably make that work. Whatever Mahomes wants, he will probably get, and he would be very mistaken to not want to get a star wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins. That would be one of the best duos in the league, Mahomes and DeAndre Hopkins. So probably the odds-on favorite there. And then the last team that I have realistically that could get him would be the Houston Texans. So some people might say, "Oh no, not the Texans. They're still rebuilding. They don't have the roster. He won't want to go there." But he said on somewhere that he wants to return to the state of Texas. The Cowboys said that they will not sign him, basically, by saying that their wide receiver room is full and they don't want anyone else. So that leaves the Texans, who he played for before. That's where he was a star before. He said he wants to return. It would be a great weapon for CJ Stroud's development. Too often we see QBs, Zach Wilson, they get drafted to a team. They got tons of promise. All they need to do is develop, but they don't have anyone to throw to. And that stunts their growth, And, worst case scenario for Stroud would be like Zach Wilson, where he's not even the starter anymore, like 3 years in. So getting him a weapon would definitely help him grow even more, which is what the Texans really want. The Texans just want him to grow, and they should be doing whatever it takes to get him to grow. And by signing DeAndre Hopkins, it would be the best way for him to grow. Also, the Texans have plenty of cap space, so money's not going to be an issue. Same with the Lions, so they can offer more, whereas like the Chiefs can. Outside shots, we already talked about Tennessee a little bit. They're an outside shot. The Cleveland Browns a little bit because of the Watson connection. Watson's been Deshaun Watson, his quarterback at Houston, where the system that he grew up in. Jets with who doesn't want to play for Aaron Rodgers, and then the Buffalo Bills, but they probably are out of it with the signing of Leonard Floyd and the re-sign of Ed Oliver. The Buffalo Bills and Jacksonville Jaguars both released updates on their new stadiums. The Buffalo Bills, for starters, have already broke ground and started to build their new stadium. It will be called Highmark Stadium. It will seat 63,000. And looking at these pictures here, this stadium is going to be awesome. And so will the Jaguars Stadium. This stadium will be awesome too. They haven't finalized it yet, but it's looking like it will cost around $2 billion. Again, no specifics yet, except for the fact that the city of Jacksonville and the owner, Shad Khan, will split the bill 50-50. Khan called it the stadium of the future, and I agree with him. This concept art, this projections, these stadiums are going to be great to watch football in. Thank you guys for watching the first ever episode of the NFL Quick Talk podcast. I hope you guys learned a little something about what's happened this week in the NFL, and hope to see you for episode 2 sometime next week. All right, see you then.